Welcome, my fellow Legionnaires. This is yours truly, Alyssa Faden, bringing you all of the mapping goodness, miniatures, painting, and tabletop RPG goodness. Today we are taking a look at Cat's Cradle by Frog God Games. This is no random happenstance. Cat's Cradle exists largely in part because of the little map that we did a long time ago. It is the map that could. It is this little beauty right here. We're going to get into this in a little bit of depth, what it is about this map that drove this whole project. But before we get into that, let's just talk about what Cat's Cradle is. So Cat's Cradle is a setting, it is a city setting, but the whole point was to have a town small enough, a page count that was manageable enough for a dungeon master to be able to assimilate it quickly and easily. Not one of these big, huge campaign settings where you feel like you're going to have to put half of your life to one side just to be able to absorb it. Cat's Cradle is about 40 pages of pure sexy goodness. You can pick it up, you can read it, you can assimilate it, and you are good to go. But the town is large enough where it will serve as a long-term headquarters for any adventuring party. And maybe small enough where they won't be lost and not know where to go next. Every page you turn to has more plot hooks, more things for your players to be able to enjoy and really absorb. They will make Cat's Cradle their own, I promise you. Now, the thing about Cat's Cradle, and I'm gonna go to the credits page right here because I want to talk about Rhiannon, Anthony, and Matt for a moment, the main authors right here, because what Frog God did when COVID hit last year is they sought COVID-based loans so that they could continue to pay their freelancers and a USA printer, actually in Arizona, and Cat's Cradle was born from that. So we want to keep our freelancers going. We want to give them plenty to be working on. Let's create a project that they can all work on. So Rhiannon, Anthony, Jeff the editor, Casey the art director, Charles Wright, brilliant layout and graphic designer by the way, Susie on the cover design and some cartography work. Honestly, the names just keep going on and on and on. Bill Blakely, Colin Chan, Adrian Landeras, Tuan Fan, sorry for mispronouncing your name, Sid Quaid, Erica Wiley, all on the interior art, which I'm going to show you today. Literally, this is the frogs. The frogs have a huge heart. We want to keep paying our guys and girls. Let's create a project for them to actually work on collectively. So, what happened? What was the process here? Well, the frogs have this map that they purchased from me a short while ago. And they were looking at this and they wanted to get something that had a river or a stream going through it. And they wanted to be inspired, right? They started brainstorming and they looked at this and they saw this incredible blue river. And they thought, you know what's up? They saw the green growth on the sides and they actually, honestly, started to feel like maybe this felt like the town had a alchemy industry, which I think is really cool. This map started to inspire them, and that's what I love to do with my maps. They started to come up with stories behind what we had drawn. That's what it's all about to me. If your maps aren't doing that, you're doing something wrong. Go back to the drawing board. Your maps have to invoke stories. You have to be able to look at them and start imagining the people that live there. And that's what the frogs did. They told me that the map drove a lot of the written content because of this river with the vibrant colour and the colours around it. And that is what inspired this whole project and all of their brainstorming, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So let's take a look here. So I want to stress that this 36 to 40 page book right here, it's sizable enough to have some real depth, but it's small enough to be able to absorb. Okay, we have great layout, great artwork. It gives you an overview of what this town is all about. The objective is to give you a little setting with enough going on in it where you as a GM will feel like you've got this almost sandbox-like environment for the players to really get their teeth into. And as players, they're going to be like just chomping at the bit to explore one area or another and just start revealing plot hook after plot hook after plot hook. So here's the map on page 4. They break it up into a grid. We actually see the neighborhoods repeated over and over and over. You'll note, by the way, that they talk about a little bit of the history. They talk about law enforcement. They talk about the taverns and inns in the place. This is a good setting. This is a good setting at a glance. You know what I mean? This is not 5 books worth of information that you have to trudge your way through. It's like boom, 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 law, criminals, radical politics, taverns and inns, magical resources. It just keeps going. Then we get into the deep dive, and I'll go through this fairly quickly. Obviously, I'm not going to read this word for word. I really highly encourage you to buy this and take a look at it yourselves. Alchemist Alley. Grab a little sort of zoom in, give it some numbers, and start walking the players through what these locations are all about. And honestly, Alchemist Alley here, this is the heart. This is the heart of it. Outside of Alchemist Alley, yeah, we obviously have Bricktown, which already starts to invoke all sorts of things in my particular imagination. And no wonder they called it Bricktown. Look at that brilliant colouring that we've got going on right here. So we've got Alchemist Alley, we've got Bricktown, we've got this particular character right here. And then we get into Cat's Keep. Cat's Keep is not maybe what you're thinking. It is the where the Baron sits, and it's right there in the heart of the city itself. I gotta be honest with you, when I first drew this map, I wasn't expecting someone to run with it to this degree. This is absolutely fantastic. It really is. I always knew that there was some kind of leader of the city that was here, but now that leader has a name, he has an entourage, he has purpose, and we've got these buildings described in absolute detail. This is completely system agnostic, by the way. Like, you should pick this up just to like put it in your repertoire for that time when the players go wandering off in a random direction, and you need to have something prepared for them, you know? And every player does it. The Dockside District, again, bringing life to this map that we've drawn right here. These wonderful docks, now with all of these warehouses numbered and described. I can't wait to walk these streets. I need someone to GM this for me, I really do. But we're not done. This just keeps going on. We're only like halfway through. We've got the Gold District, Coin City, right here. I just love that the frogs have done this. We even have the temple up there, number 4, that has been described. All of these individual locations. It's you could see the depth of this. The Jade District, right over here. Have we got 20 locations in the Jade District all described? That's just... I mean, right there. There's so much... I'm so excited by this. It's so good. And then the Old City. The 18 fully described locations in the Old City. I mean, what are we hitting on here? Like 80, 100 locations fully described in Cat's Cradle? And then the Panhandle. It just keeps going. Yeah, like 100 locations this book must have. Then the surrounding regions themselves. They talk about caravan routes, farms, the forest. All inspired by the map that we drew such a long time ago. This is honestly... This is really... Wow, well, they've got like a witch's hut, smithy. So Wall Town, roughly 4,000 citizens. It is a little sandbox environment that they have created. And I think it is an absolute gem of a book, without a doubt. It is a modular resource. It can be used anytime that you need a town at an intersection of trade routes. And I think for any GM, this is, without a doubt, worth owning. It's available on Drive-Thru RPG right now, and I believe that it's got a discount running through to about the 20th of this month. It's $10, like $9.99 right now. And for the amount of work that's on this, and to support those folks who worked on it during COVID-19, I think that this is something that you should honestly take a look at. I have bought a copy of this, even though my map's in it, just because I think it is such a great resource. It has been an honor, honestly, to just bring it to your attention. So hopefully you'll take a look. Hopefully you will enjoy. And if you do get it, and if you do read through it, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. Let me know your favorite location. Let me know what you think of the map and what the frogs have done with it and the particular locations that they have pulled out. And if you enjoy this type of content, maybe hit me with a like. And if you feel sneaky, perhaps even hit me up with a subscribe. Either way, much love to you. I will see you on the flip side.